Hello, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the stream. So I wanted to spend a little bit of time with you today talking about our brand new product at Cortex Brand, which is the Sidekick Pocket. So we launched it today. I have a selection of them here in front of me. So in our beautiful packaging, and it's one of the orange ones. Welcome in, everyone. We've been working on this product for a while, and I thought it might be nice to show off some of the stuff that we've been doing on it. People who tuned in to, I've done a couple of streams now. One was on my own channel, one was on the Cortex podcast channel, and I showed off some of the Sidekick Pocket stuff because this has been a project that's been in development for a really long time. So it's available right now over at cortexbrand.com. You can go over there. This is our Instagram. I'll talk about that in a bit. But you'll find here, this is the Sidekick Pocket, and it's 3 versions, and you can choose which one you want. We have 3 layouts and 3 colors. I'll talk about that in a little bit. I'm sure you'll have questions, which I'll want to get to. I hope. Maybe there's some questions that I want to get to a little bit later on. But I'll talk a little bit about where this product came from. Because it's actually to me, it's an interesting story. It's a little bit different to some of our other stuff. I feel like with the theme system journal, it kind of evolved naturally. It's like this was an idea that came from how I was journaling, and we thought we could expand it into a product because it was also something that I wanted. And with the Sidekick notepad, it was created as a way to have something nice on the desk. And then we kind of evolved it out from there with different layouts and such. But the Sidekick Pocket, it kind of has 2 origins, really. So the first is, this is something Gray really wanted. He wanted a pocket notebook. So Gray is a big fan of pocket notebooks, and he said to me that what he likes about pocket notebooks is the ability to be able to have it with you all the time, take some notes, tear them out, good to go. So every Sidekick Pocket, like the Sidekick Notepad, your pages are perforated, so you can tear them out, you can give them to people, you can get rid of them, you can take the notes, put them in something else, move along with your day, or you could tear out a bunch and lay them out on the table as ideas. So Gray tasked me, he's like, I really want us to make a pocket notebook with, the considerations that we have for design and materials, and it'd be ours. And so I started going away and thinking about what that would look like. And the best that I could come up with was something like a field notes notebook. So kind of 3.5 inches by 5.5 inches, opens out, staples in the middle, and you pull out the pages when you're done. But maybe we'd perforate the edges so you could pull them out. As I started going down this, I just didn't like it. It didn't really feel like I had anything or we had anything to add. So to me, it didn't make sense as a product to pursue in any way. So what we ended up looking for was... So I think I have some audio playing from my pocket. Or somewhere. I can hear my own stream. I think that might be playing from a tab. So I'm sorry if you could... Yeah. Is it from there? You can hear yourself. I don't know if people ever have that, but I'm having that right now. I can hear myself from somewhere. All right, sorry about that. So yeah, this is something that he wanted. I didn't really feel like we could add anything to just a 3x5 notebook with perforations. And so we kind of paused it for a bit, went away to think about other stuff. We were pulled around by other products. The Sidekick Notepad really took off and kind of took attention away. And I was very happy with the product, the Sidekick product. And then one day I was going through some stuff here at the studio, and I was in the process of ripping some games to make ROMs for my own emulation. And I came across one of these guys. This is a Game Boy Pocket. And I had a couple of them. I actually bought, this one was an extra that I bought. After thinking of this idea, because I picked it up and I was like, that feels good. Like, I like this kind of physical size. This feels nice in the hand. I like that it's chunky. I like the bright colors. And then it hit me, Sidekick Pocket. So we'd had success with a Sidekick notepad. And I was like, that's it. What if we made a pocket version of the Sidekick notepad, and we have perforated pages, just like we do on the Sidekick notepad, that solves the two desires that Gray and I had. He wanted a pocket notebook, and I wanted to be able to have something that I thought was interesting design-wise, was like something that we really felt that could like be from us. And so that was where this whole idea was born. So it's also where the color came from. So when we started thinking about the Sidekick notepad and we started thinking about a pocket notebook, we were considering, could maybe this be the first product where we add color to the lineup? So the Sidekick products, they're all black or gray, and we've been adding some fun metallic foils to them over time, but they've all been dark, and that's not really what I want to do forever. I like to have some color in our products. You know, like we have the beautiful blue Mark I pen along with the black one, and I wanted to add some color. And the company that we work with to supply our paper, GF Smith, they have such great options. And this is the color plan paper that they make. But it's not just that. They have tons of great options of papers and things I want to try out and play with. But I wanted to see, does the Cortex Brand customer base, would they be interested in color? So we started going down this road, and we were looking through the color plan options, and there was a day where, like, so this is my studio, and I have a couch just over there. And there was a day that Gray came over to the studio, and we laid all the paper colors out, and we're moving them around, and like really having a great time, and like thinking like, what are going to be the three colors that we're going to go with? And we ended up with the three that we have, which is Factory Yellow, Mandarin, and Tabriz Blue. They're the three colors that we're starting with the Sidekick Pocket today. And we have three layouts. So we have a to-do layout, we have a lined layout, and we have a dot grid layout. The dot grid, these two kind of together, that's basically, I kind of consider these as like classic Cortex Brand. Like, if you put them this way, this is the original Sidekick notepad. There's obviously a bit more of this, but it's the to-do with the progress circles, so you can fill them in by half or tick them off completely. And dot grid, I love dot grid, but Gray really wanted lined. It's what he prefers, so we also went with a lined here as well. So I'm just catching up with your chat here. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with me, by the way. I really appreciate this. This has been an exciting day. I'm going to get into some of that. I don't know if you may have noticed, but I have my... these are the things I want to talk about in the stream today here on my Sidekick Pocket to do, so I could go through them as we talk. So then once we kind of settled on that, we moved forward, and we're using the same great company in London that we have that produced the Sidekick notepad. It's a company called F.E. Berman. They're incredible to work with. They're based in London, near London Bridge. And I'm able to go there and work with them, and that started the prototyping process. So this is going on for a while. The prototyping for this product also went on longer than we expected, because we kind of got a bit sidetracked in expanding the Sidekick notepad lineup to have planner and calendar. So this was the original prototype that they made up for me, and what you may notice is how thin it is compared to this one. So we were originally looking at 30 pages for this product, because I don't even remember why we were looking at 30 pages, but it didn't feel like a substantial enough amount for me, especially because I insist on the very thick backing that we have, which keeps this notebook nice and sturdy. You know, it's not flopping over or anything. Very important to me. But then it kind of felt off balance, and so we doubled it. And also that's more value for our customers, which is important to me, because we're premium priced, and I wanted to make sure that we're given the greatest value that we can. So this is the original. you kind of get an idea of my process here. So you'll see that they kind of, this has got like a foil here, like a debossed foil here. And it's, again, you can see that really you can see how we get from one to the other. You know, they're not too dissimilar from each other, but you'll notice things like, it's hard to see in the light, you see where the foiling is and where I ended up drawing it, where I wanted it to be, which is where we ended up. And then if we go on the inside, we have, the logo at the top, the Sidekick logo, and kind of where that ended up being. So we've got a couple of questions coming in here. So does it flop when you write without a surface? Absolutely not. I'll show you now, sorry. Don't really know how to show you this, but hi there. My handwriting's terrible, but you know, you could write like this if you wanted to. Hello, chat. It's $28 for a 2-pack. So it's very important. It's $28 for a 2-pack. You get one of these beautiful boxes, which I'll show you these in a little bit. Nice substantial amount. Reminds me of that guy. So yeah, we started the prototyping process, and this led to multiple rounds as we were trying out different thicknesses to really kind of get us to where I was happy. One of the good things about this is, you know, we know the basics of how this product comes together. It wasn't as complicated as when we introduced the Sidekick notepad, but I really wanted to make sure that we were getting the feel of it right. There's a lot of changes to the layouts, like we gave more space in some of them, changed the darkness and stuff like that. Crunchyroll asks, is it meant for each page to be torn out? So it's slightly different to the Sidekick notepad. The Sidekick notepad, really you should be tearing it out, I think, to start every day. But with the Sidekick Pocket, you can keep a couple of pages in and it will flip around nice and easy. And it will just come back again. And what you might end up with is the paper sticking up a bit, but I don't think that's too bad. You just pop this thing over and put it in your bag. Similarly, you know, this can pop up, but it's nice and easy to just give it a little push in the other direction, and it's sit nice and flat. And really, one of the things for me with the Pocket, as opposed to some of our other products, is, and what I look forward to with our customers, I want to see these things beat up. This is a Pocket notebook. I'm really excited to see the durability from people, and it's stuff I'm gonna. If you buy and use a Sidekick Pocket, please send me pictures, give me feedback. Like, I want to know where it works for you and where it doesn't, because I do think this product is a different thing for us. It's a different use case to where we've been before, and I'm excited about that. But I want to see how people use it, and I'm excited to see how people use it. I mean, realistically, like most of our other products, it's intended to be open. It's intended to be used on a desk, most likely. But it also will go in your pocket, and you can use it at any desk that you find out in the world. Oh, by the way, you may have noticed this guy. It's like, this is a Game Boy camera. This came with one of the Game Boy Pockets that I bought. So I thought maybe it would be fun. We'll fire that guy up. This is a Game Boy camera. So like one of my original ideas for the marketing of this product is, and I'm still planning on doing it, I just haven't yet, but I think it would be fun, is to take some pictures of these together using the Game Boy camera too. But I thought I would be able to show it on video. Hilariously, it's very capable to do this. So I'm using a piece of hardware called the Game Boy Operator. It's from a company called Epilogue. And this is a thing that you can use, and the reason I bought it is so you can use it to rip games onto. But also, it has a piece of software where you can basically use the Game Boy camera as a camera input. So we can have that guy join us for a bit. I'll move him around up here for now. So I'll answer this question from Ross. It's a question we get a lot. Still dreaming of when I can order from a UK store. So we ship all of our products from the US. The majority of our customer base is in the US, and it's where our partner Cotton Bureau is based. Something that I'll note, the majority of the price that you're seeing when you go to check out is the taxes that we need to pay to the UK, VAT, value-added tax. You're seeing that baked into the price. So it's paid up front, so you don't get any bills later on. It's not the only cost, but it is the majority of the cost. And we would have to add that on top of the price if we were selling from the UK anyway. There is a price difference. Like, I'm not trying to hide, right? It's obviously it's like a few more dollars to ship from the US, just the shipping cost, than it would be if we were shipping from the UK. But the ultimate price, if you were to add the VAT on, it's not as big as it seems. Now, this is just, I'm not trying to make excuses. Obviously, we don't have it. If it was easy for us to have a UK distributor, we would have one. It's not as easy as I would like it to be. I hope one day that we can do it. I really want us to be able to do it. This is very difficult. But just be aware that when you're buying, you're also paying the taxes we would need to pay. We'd add to the sale price if we were selling it from a UK distributor. And there are 2 shipment options too. There's one that has advanced tracking, which is more expensive. You can choose the cheaper option. That makes the shipping cheaper, even though the taxes are still there. And so, yeah. To answer you, Kev, we have a rotating feature. Maybe I should make it the only feature product right now, but we have a bunch of products that are feature products, but it's not bad. Not a bad idea. Jake asks, did you consider a rubber band or elastic? Yeah, but I didn't want to do it. I did think about it, but there are a couple of things to consider. I'm going to turn this thing off, so it's a bit distracting. We'll play around with that again in a minute. I think the thing about elastic on a notebook like this is, what about when you're halfway through? So when you're halfway through the pages, the elastic would need to be tight enough that it would still be able to hold it closed, which means it would be too tight when you have it and it's full. Who knows? Maybe that's the thing that we think about in the future, but for me, I like it like this. This works for me. Put this, throw it in a bag, and it's totally fine. So this is a great, Kev, I'm so happy you've asked me this question, because I know people are going to ask this question, so I'll answer it now, and I'll answer it many more times later, I'm sure. So at the moment, our colors and our layouts are locked together. So if you want lined, you get yellow. If you want yellow, you get lined. Same for dot grid and orange, and to do and blue. My hope is this product is successful enough that we can make more options. I don't know what they would be, but it's really hard because logistically, this project and product has been logistically very complicated for us, because it's 3 versions, and we're launching them all at once, which we've never done before. I don't know how this is going to go going into the long term. Like, if we sell more of one than another, do we order more of one than the other? But then how many do we order? And there are obviously economies of scale. So the more we order of something, the cheaper it gets. Like, if I don't order enough of these, we're not going to make money on them. It's really complicated. So we're starting off with the 3. I don't know what the future might hold. I hope that this product can prove to be successful enough that we're able to expand the color options. I think that would be amazing. But we'll see how it goes. So yeah, these are some of the prototypes. You'll see that we ended up making the logo much smaller. Something that we did on this one, which I like. It feels like really it's a detail for me more than anything else. We added color to the foils. It shows up mostly on the blue. There's more of a color difference on the blue. But we have a yellow foil, an orange foil, and a blue foil, which I love. I just think it's nice little details like that. They make me happy. And I'm very pleased that we get to add them to the products. Learned in life, how's launch day been? I will say I was really nervous today. I'm going to jump ahead actually. So let's mark off some stuff, and I can talk about launch day, and then we'll come back to some of this in a little bit, because I have some little notes here. So I've spoken about the idea and the inspiration, and the prototyping process. We'll come back to some product development stuff, and we'll come back to marketing. Let's talk about the release so far. So, along with all of the many other things that we decided to do with this product, the way in which we have announced and marketed this product is different to how we've done it with our other major releases. So our prior major releases are the theme system journal and the Sidekick notepad, and then the additional Sidekick layouts that we did a couple of months ago. With those, a couple of things happen. Usually we mention it on the podcast, and in some instances, Gray will make a video. And we can sometimes do those around the same time or with a small delay. For the Sidekick Pocket, we decided to do neither of those things. So we have not mentioned it on the podcast, and Gray has not made a video, and he's not promoted it on his YouTube channel. Over the last year and a half, we have been building our email marketing up. So when people buy at our store, they have the opportunity to sign up for our email newsletter. We have our email newsletter listed in other places, like on our Instagram. And we decided that for this product, we would promote it to our email newsletter and our socials. And we've been working really hard as a team to put together a marketing plan. Hats off to Kerry, who's in the chat, who's devised an incredible marketing plan and has executed it excellently, along with help from everyone on the team. And I was really nervous about it because it was a bunch of new things. It's a different product for us. It's adding color in, and we're not marketing it in our usual way. And I didn't know how it was going to go. And I would say so far I've been really, really pleased. We have sold more today than I expected we would, which is fantastic so far. I don't know how it will continue from here. It's going to be very curious to see. Like, I don't know what happens after the next couple of days, but I have seen today that I believe the product will be successful. We're going to continue to expand the marketing, but just from communicating to our email newsletter, which is our smallest audience, and then putting it on our Instagram too, I've been really enthused with the response, and I think it's working for where we are with this product right now, because we'll be able to communicate with those people. You know, we're going to send out some emails to people that buy them in the next few weeks to be like, hey, how do you like it? How's it going for you? That kind of stuff. And I want to thank everyone here who said that they bought them. It really means a lot to me. I put a lot into all of our products, and I put a lot into this one too. So yeah, it means a lot that people take a chance on our stuff, because we work really, really hard on it. So yeah, I have been very, very happy with the release so far. I had quite low expectations today, because you never really know how these things are going to go. It's very complicated when you're making physical products. You never know how people are going to react to them. Like, you believe in them, you feel they're good, but how does that translate? And how does it translate just in imagery? And how does it translate in video clips and on product pages and stuff like that? So yeah. Have I demoed keeping it in my back pocket? No, I would never put this notebook in my back pocket. So it's interesting. I see what people think. I would never do that. I don't even really put it in my pocket. Like, I have done, but I don't. It's going in my backpack. Like, that's where I would put a notebook, even though it is a pocket notebook. But it will fit in the pocket. I mean, I'll put it in my pocket right now. You see, like, it goes right in there. Beautiful, you know? There it goes. I guess so. Fits in the pocket nice, but it's not really something I do. Like, I put it in a pocket in my bag. I also keep one of these. I've been wearing a sling bag more recently. Just like, boop, straight in the sling bag. Always great to have on hand. Let me take that off here. So the product development for this one, as I said, was quite good. One thing I haven't spoken about is the paper. So it's a good question. Did anyone think it was a left-handed product again, like the Sidekick notepad? No, because I didn't do any of the videos or photos. I've learned my lesson. I'm not doing them. The paper in this product is different to the paper that we've used before. So this is still a very expensive product to make. And so when we were going down the route of producing this product, and I was trying to work out what balance we're going to make, I was trying to see what paper options were available to us. And so we went with Color Plan, which is it's expensive paper for what it is, especially the way that we use it, because we use the big, thick backing on it. And I was talking about paper supplier, seeing what options were available, and they recommended that I try a paper that they make called Accent, which is a 100% recycled paper. I was dubious because I use fountain pens a lot, and recycled paper and fountain pens do not go together. The main reason for this is so paper is lots of fibers, right? That's what paper is. You put it under a microscope, you'll see lots of fibers. And good paper, the fiber all kind of runs together, and there's a consistency, and it goes in a direction. I've learned, for example, that sometimes flipping a piece of paper can change the way that a pen will feel because you're changing the angle of the fibers. Wild, some of the things that I've learned over time. And so when using fountain pens on recycled paper, the fibers aren't uniform because they're coming from different sources. And so what you would find a lot, you're writing with a pen and it might kind of scratch or it might get snagged. And for fountain pen, if the nib gets snagged, it can spray ink everywhere. So I've never really liked recycled paper. Then I tried this paper and I was blown away. I love the paper that is in this product. I love that it's 100% recycled. I also love that, again, on most recycled paper, you will see like flecks of other fibers in it. And usually the way that they'll get around that is bleaching it. And this paper is very consistent because they're pulling from good sources, and there's no bleach in it. So, well, they are not bleaching it, is what is best for me to say. They're not like doing some kind of post-process to adding in some kind of chemical to make it look like this. So it's called Accent. It's 100% recycled, and I'm super happy about that. I want to find other things to do with this paper because I've really been blown away by it. And again, I look forward to feedback from the community when they get them, when they use them. So Quarto, yes, if you're using recycled paper, that might be why you experience that. So Laura, I would say, like, you get the occasional skip, but by and large, I've been very surprised. And sometimes, honestly, I forget what's in here. So I'll give you an example. So let's see if I have some pens that are inked up right now. So this is like a pretty wide nib. So let's see if I can zoom in here. Ooh. Excellent. Like seriously, I don't even know if you'd notice. It's 100 GSM. That is like a number, and when I say that's a number, the paper qualities I think are more important, and also the bleed through is really good. This is a great paper. Laura, I haven't sent one to Brad yet. I probably should. I haven't thought about that. I should talk to Brad. I get scared with Brad reviewing my products, though, But yeah, this pen is from one of my favorite companies called Canalea Pen Co. They make these beautiful pens. They're a sponsor of the podcast. The Pen Addict podcast. This is another one from them, too. If I got ink in this one is bananas. Yeah, there you go. This pen is with a really, really wild nib on it. It's like a custom nib. It's actually 2 fountain pen nibs stacked on top of each other. Camera will not zoom. Yeah. So this one is an incredibly aggressive. And the fact that it will write like this. Seriously, this paper's amazing. I don't know if I have any felt pens. What would comprise a felt pen? Like a Sharpie? Does that work? I should have a wider range of pens here. Most of my pens are at home, which is probably not ideal. But seriously, like the fact, I think fountain pen users will know if I tell you recycled paper and it has that kind of quality to it, it's quite impressive. I've been very, very happy with the paper that's in this product. I mean, so pens is a big thing for me. I have another podcast, the Pen Addict podcast, and I think it's what enables me to do this. I have very strong opinions about the product and about their qualities. Most people, it's not going to matter, but I think that everybody benefits from my care for the quality of this product. So yeah, Emily, you just asked about bleed throughs. So this was on that page that I just wrote on. I mean, you tell me. There's a very slight, whoops, there is a very slight amount there, but I think that that is perfectly acceptable. I think it's really great. So we then, we moved on when we were working through this product, we were looking at how we would package them together. So I think I mentioned it, but you get a 2-pack. So this $28 2-pack. That's $28. I'd say $28 right now for all of the reasons that products could increase in price. But it is currently $28. And they come in this beautiful little 2-pack. 2-pack, the packaging is made of the same paper and also has the same stamping on it. Why do I do that? Because I want to do that and I love it. So when we were working through the process of this, we'd changed over the packaging that we were using on the Sidekick notepad to be what's called a book wrap. And this is another example of a book wrap. So when you receive your Sidekick notepads, Sidekick Pocket, they will come to you like this. And I hope I can do this well. You get a nice little pull tab. And you open them up. And there they are for you. That's why it's called a book wrap, because they go in like this. And they're wrapped like that. So it's made in London. And you would genuinely be surprised to see how much of this is done by hand. Just the whole process. Like, I go to the factory. At some point, I'm going to make a video. I'm going to go there and I'm going to make a video about the process of these. So they're made in London, a company called F.E. Berman. They're an incredible partner, and the men and women there are just picking things up. And they use machines, but they're doing it by hand, right? So they're picking stuff up. They're moving the things in. They're gluing them in. The corner edging, they put it in a machine, and someone steps on a pedal, and it cuts the corner. And we had a particular corner radius made for us for all of our products. So I say, Vlad, using recycled paper did bring down the production cost. It was one of the reasons we were looking at it in the first place, and I was so blown away by it. It's like, this is just a great paper to use. Let's go for it. And it brought down the cost, which is important because the amount of color plan that we're using is expensive. But what I was saying about the hand, these are, I got to meet some of the people who are literally by hand taking 2 of these, putting them in, doing this, and there's a glue strip, and they put them in, and then they ship them out to you. Well, they put them in boxes that are then sent over, and then they're shipped out from Comp Bureau. So, like, there is so much physical hand work that is going into these products. And I'm very proud that we get to support a business which is doing things in traditional methods, and I'm extremely proud that we get to do it in the UK, because it means a lot to me that we get to produce something of this quality here and continue to support this local manufacturer. So really great. They're a wonderful partner to work with. The 2 partners we have, so our paper supplier, GF Smith, who produce both of these papers, it's their papers, and then our manufacturing partner, F.E. Berman. They've been great to us, and so it's great to shout them out. Marketing. So I want to show you some of our Instagram stuff. So we've been working on this for a while. We have these beautiful imagery and video, and there's more videos upcoming, reels and stuff like that. So we've been working with a wonderful design duo creative team called Yuzu Studios. They're based out of Adelaide. And they produced, basically, you can see when we started working with them. Yeah, so this is, we're trying our best out here, you know. I wanted a new style, and we started working with Yuzu, and then you can see the style change on our Instagram over time. I love the work that they do for us, and this was what they put together for these products. Some beautiful images showing the products in their kind of natural state, as it were. but then also this video, which I wanna show you this. So a few things about this which are fun. This is a reel which is comprised of 3 individual reels that we have that we're going to be posting soon. So there's one for each product. So for each variant, so to do grid and lined, dot grid and lined, and then they made this comprising of all of them. There's a fun little Easter egg. So at the end, when the person is playing a podcast, they're listening to Cortex, and that's me speaking, which they put that through. I was like, that's very cute. I enjoy that. And at the moment, one of the taglines we're using for the Sidekick Pocket is "Wherever the day takes you," which is the nice pairing between what we're showing here of the 3 different people working in 3 different complete ways. We have one person who's a nurse. I think we have one person who's a developer, and then one person who's in a coffee shop, keep doing their to-do, whatever they are, I assume. I don't know what the thinking is for the person. I don't know what that person's role is who's doing the to-do list there. But yeah, I want to watch it again. I love this thing so much. I'm so happy. So there's Carrie in the chat. Next reels are going live on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week. So that's when you'll see the full reels. It's so good. Oh my God. So Blake, my favorite is the dot grid, and I love orange, so that's why the dot grid is orange. To do seemed obvious, but also it's graphic design task tracking. Thank you, Kerry. That is Avi that's doing that. Avi's one of the guys at Yuzu. To do, it seemed like an obvious one, but also my wife really wanted it, and then lined is what Gray wanted. And we went with yellow for lined because yellow on a lined paper, this is what the Apple Notes app icon looks like. And I think that's hilarious. So that's what I did here. I want to send some of these to the Apple Notes design team. I actually think I know someone on that team, but if you're out there, Apple Notes design team, and you would like some of these, there can be a package sent your way. You just got to reach out to me, free of charge, and I'll send you some notebooks. I'm sure it'll be fun for you. And maybe we could send it to some celebrities and they can write their apologies on their notebook and take pictures of them. But yeah, dot grid is my favorite, and that. So it's also, dot grid is a staple of the brand at this point. I think dot grid is great. It's a great compromise between grid and lined and plain. So I think it's the perfect one to do. So the marketing has been an interesting thing. So Yuzu produced this reel for us a couple of years ago, and it went tremendously viral. It's like millions of views now. And it was like a trial of working with them, and they crushed it so much that now we've been working together for nearly over a year. We've been working together now on various projects and imagery and stuff, and they were working on this one together too. So brand guidelines. That's a great question, Quarto. I wouldn't say we have brand guidelines, but there are like thematic things that are important to me. Rounded corners is really important to me. Using things like dot grid is important to me. Using foiling, and then also the progress circles, these little guys, that kind of stuff is important. I'll also show it's very, very subtle, very subtle. There is a tiny dot grid in here, just in case you want 2 lines. Oh, I feel so good today, actually. I love doing this with you all. I love talking about the products. It feels so satisfying when you've lived in this for years, and it's the accumulation of like so many small decisions to be able to sit and like think about them and explain them. It's quite satisfying, I think. And like one of I was talking about this earlier, and what actually makes the Sidekick Pocket special to me is it's the first product that I've had an idea for from a moment of inspiration, where like prior there were like reasons for making a product, and that were practical, where this one was like this. I just picked this up and it was like, oh, this makes sense as a format size, and I like the name, and that's fun. And then kind of that is what led into coming up with this. And it feels good. And so I like to be able to share these stories with you all, and I'm very thankful that you listen. Why did we do blue? I like blue. I mean, blue's good. We had to pick a third color. We like blue, and blue is like a, I would say the yellow and the orange, some people might not like them. The blue, I don't know, maybe it's a bit more chill. But it's really great to see people use them. Like my wife has been using a version of this for a really long time, and I see it around the house all the time, and it's really nice to see. But yeah, so that's the marketing. The marketing is an ongoing thing. So we have more reels to post. You may have seen I've boosted the reel on Instagram now to try and get it out to more people, because that did really great for us with the Sidekick notepad, and I want people to see the work. And so we move on to the future. So we've had a really good first day. I don't know what the next few days or few weeks looks like. We did something also kind of coming back to product development and production of this product. We did not overextend ourselves. With the Sidekick notepad, we ordered way too many, and the product was a great success, so we sold them all. But this time we made a more modest order, a more realistic order, and that has come from the fact that we've now had a lot of experience of this. And so I feel good about that. We've not bet the house on this one, which is great. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. It'll be interesting to see what happens when one of these sells out, because it might be a little bit before we can restock. So it's again another reason not to go big on the marketing right now is, if we go out of stock on one of the variants, we might be out of stock for a couple of months or something, or 12 weeks or something like that, especially because trying to move stuff around right now is complicated. But my hope is going into the future, like we get some good feedback from our customers, maybe there's some changes that we make, and so I would love to be able to have more color options. That's going to be really hard to do, but I hope we can. So wait, how many lines could you fit in these notes? Might be ideal. This is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You got 10. But you could do like as many pages as you want, or you could go dot grid where there's like 20 lines you could do here. And I think there's something like 17 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh wait, I lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Wow, what a memory. These are 7mm gap. I think it's called college rule. This is a funny thing. I wanted to make my own line format. This is something Gray had to be like, whoa, buddy, let's chill. So I wanted to do 1 centimeter solid lines with a dot grid line in the middle. So it would be half, because these are half a centimeter, like 5mm. And so I wanted to do 1 centimeter solid lines with dots in the middle. So you could either have big writing or small writing. And I wanted to call it Cortex rule. And Gray was like, you got to stop. And so we went to 7mm line. It was the right call. I maybe went too far. But Cortex rule lives on. It's here. It made it here. This is the Cortex rule. It's 1 centimeter here with half a 0.5 in there. So if you really like that, go for it. It's here. It lives on, but just not in our main product. It's a bit too much. This is why it's good to have a partner who can rein you in and help push you forward. So I'm really happy. I feel really good. I'm really pleased that we have something else in the lineup that's different. Like I feel like this is like our third major product. I'm so excited for our next product, which we're also going to launch into a small. I'm really hoping that we'll be able to do our first small run of that this year. Again, another product where I think has a ton of potential, but we need to kind of see how people want to use it. So that's very exciting. Got that coming up. So yeah, I'm very thankful that you support our company, support our business, no matter how you do, whether that's just hanging out with me here or by buying a product. I think you'll really like these. You get 2 notebooks, 60 pages each. It's going to last you a while, depending on which one you go for or not, and depending on the type of person you are. You'll get 2 in a pack. $28 for a 2-pack, I think is pretty good. Especially these are, they're seriously, they're very, very well made. I think they rival much of what you might otherwise try. 100% recycled pages, beautiful bright colors, lots of attention to detail. So if you check it out at cortexbrand.com, let me know what you think. And sign up for our email newsletter as well when you buy it, and we'll send you an email and we'll say, please let us know what you think. And hopefully you do. Oh man, would I love to make a Cortex mechanical pencil? Yeah, I really would. I love this pencil so much. So this is the Studio Neat Mark III. This is Studio Neat Mark I. One day I really want to make a Mark III with them, but it's just something we haven't been able to prioritize. These are it's expensive to buy the stock for these. As you can imagine, this beautiful writing instrument is more expensive than a notebook, and so it's different. Drunkard, you have made my day. £14 is super reasonable per notebook. You know what? I agree, but I hear from a lot of people who don't. So like, I'm really happy that you said that. That has made my afternoon. 4mm grid. Wow, that's intense. That is intense. But yeah. If you have any more questions, fire them off. But otherwise, I think we're coming to the end of the stream. Let's put the Game Boy camera back on. Look at that beautiful thing. So maybe we can mark this off on the Game Boy camera. Do you even see it? Yeah, you see it. Oh. What a funny piece of equipment. I mean, I had one of these when I was a kid. I can't believe that you can read that. Kind of. Well, maybe reading is a bit of a stretch. Henry, can't mix and match right now. No, you get a 2-pack. They come. You choose at the product page whether you want a 2-pack of to do, 2-pack of grid, 2-pack of lined. A pocket pen. I recommend the Studio Neat Mark II. That's really great. I recommend the products from Tactile Turn. They're also really great. You should try those out. Game Boy Micro. Imagine that. It's like a book of stamps. I will tell this story, Veg. So every launch day, there's always things that you realize at the last minute that made sense to you, but maybe more make sense to everybody else. So we launched all the stuff, and I was sharing it with the team, and somebody was like, it doesn't say anywhere that this is a 2-pack, and it didn't. Anywhere on the page, it did not say that it was a 2-pack. But like in my mind, it was like, well, if you see this, obviously you know it's a 2-pack, right? This image. It's probably not necessarily that obvious to people. And so for a brief time today, I had to contact Content Bureau, the distributor, and they control the website. and they had to add this in for me here where it says 2-pack, but it was early in the morning when I emailed them. So for a while, this said Sidekick Pocket 2-pack at the top, waiting until this went in there. So yeah, just a funny little thing. And I was sharing with the team, I was like, this is the first time that we've launched a product of this significance where it's not just been me and Gray. And I say, this is what every launch day is like. It is at the moment at which you have put the product live on the store is when you start to realize all of the things you haven't done. Emily, I'm back from paternity leave now. My paternity leave is over. I'm working a reduced schedule in the studio right now, but yeah, I'm back on all my shows and stuff. So essentially, the paternity leave is over. So, gang, I'm gonna call it there. Send in feedback wherever you want. Email, go to cortexfeedback.com. Hit me up on social media. Let me know what you think about this stuff. I'm really thankful that you all hung out with me today. Share the product with your friends, family, if you think they might be interested. Again, thanks so much. Go to cortexbrand.com, pick up a Sidekick Pocket of your own today, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye now.